So Pixar movies, there's a lot of them. I can honestly mention Disney, but you know what? Yeah, Pixar. I've been a fan of Pixar. And it's a really fun studio. It's honestly my favorite animation studio. And well, yes, it's kind of haven't been doing well in the box office except for the latest movie. So I'm gonna rank every one of them. And starting at number 27 with Pixar's worst movie.
Ouch, Bella. You're hurting me.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, Incredibles 2 is the worst Pixar movie. Now I'm probably thinking, why not Cars 2? Oh, I thought it was meh. And meh is still pretty good, but no. It's Cars 2 had at least good animation. But this yeah, I'm not a big fan of the animation. Like, look at this guy. Why does that look like a Solar Fall character? Yeah, and yeah, this movie good. Bob wasn't likable, and basically just a rehash of the first movie, but more stupid. It's just a twist villain. Haven't we seen enough of these villains? Just some alcoholic. Yay! The Pixar's best movie. Yeah. I do not care about this movie. And yeah. At number 26 we have I was in a and of Elemental. It's kind of more focused on the water and fire guys, and less the air and water people. And I'll admit, Ember's father, Bernie, was kind of an unlikable character. I might give this its own review, maybe. And that's kind of it about the bad Pixar movies. Sure, there are other movies on this list that people would consider bad, but not really. Now let's move on to sorry about the accent. We have I thought Cars 2 was a meh movie. It was just a meh Not bad, just meh. It's not. My biggest problem with the movie is Finn and Miles Axelrod. Miles Axelrod is a twist villain. That's stupid and no. Annoying. And Finn is just stupid. Like, Finn couldn't see a helicopter. Why couldn't you see it? At number 24, we have... Yeah, Brave isn't bad either. Yes. Merida isn't a likable jerk. And her father was kind of a rehash of Stoic. But I did like her mother. Her mother had a character arc from being strict to more nice to her. Well, the main character wasn't nice, but still, you get what I mean. At number 23, we have... Alright, what I like... The Good Dinosaur... Why not choose... The Good Dinosaur was easily the best movie. Not saying much, but I still liked it. I thought it was... main characters was good, but then again, there's kind of the rehash of Mufasa's death from the Lion King. So that's kind of a problem I have. But I do like the animation and had two scenes, like the scene where Pterodactyl ate a raccoon. I think it's been a little while since I watched the movie, and also the scene where they learned about death was a pretty good scene. It was pretty. We'll see, but then again, it's The Good Dinosaur. And now we move on to the good movies. Now let's start with number 22. Onward is one of the greatest movies I've seen. It's a pretty cool actions movie. Yes, it is kind of a fantasy movie like Harry Potter, but unlike Harry Potter, where I'm bored halfway to death, I actually enjoyed this movie. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, and even if so, the main two characters were kind of nice. Though I don't like Ian and Barley's stepdad. He's kind of an annoyance, and honestly, he doesn't have much of a character arc, and it's just some jerk. And at number 21, we have... Finding Dory has one of the best Pixar animations. And while this is focused more on Dory and Marlin and Nemo are kind of forgotten, the characters Hank, Dory, Destiny, and Beluga Whale, I forgot this name, were all pretty nice to see. It's not Pixar's best sequel, but it was nice to see a Finding Nemo sequel. I remember going to a theater, kind of theater, where instead we kind of went on the back of trucks and saw it on a screen. I mean, outside. It was pretty fun to watch. And at number 20 and 19, yes, these two movies are tied. We have yeah, Soul and Luca were great movies. Uh Luca had, yes, I'm using, oh, no. Had, Soul had pretty good characters and animation. And, well, Luca is a good movie with a good character arcs on characters. I like both of these movies. They're kind of, Luca is a bit underrated, and I think Soul was nice with the character arc of Joe. And Luca, I didn't like her mother, and Soul, I kind of thought the villain should have been in the movie more. Like, he's kind of not much of a threat. But anyways, those are pretty good movies. Now we move on to the great movies.
Sometimes I think I'm cursed. Because of something that happened before I was even born.
Coco is one of the most greatest Pixar movies ever. It's honestly nice to see the ending. And Ernesto de la Cruz is a perfect twist villain. It's honestly not the best, but still better than Sir Miles Axel. But still, I like Coco. Yes, I didn't like Miguel's grandmother or his family in general, but they're not in the movie a lot, so I do kind of like this movie, and Miguel is a pretty nice Pixar protagonist. Number 17, we have I liked Lightyear on it. Yes, I didn't like that Zurg was kind of rewritten to being just Buzz from the future. But aside from that, it was pretty good. Sox was a nice protagonist, and all the other side characters were nice. Buzz, while being kind of stupid in this movie, he was still kind of nice. And I think the soundtrack was pretty good. I never really like music sometimes, especially when it's all to go in. And do you want to spill this song? But aside from but I still like listening to more soundtracks. I think Buzz's character arc is nice. It's pretty good. And now we move on to start getting into Pixar's classic era. Which do I think is the weakest of their classic movies? Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious. A Bug's Life was I like this movie. It was the weakest of the classic era is mainly because of Princess Ada. She's kind of a jerk to Flick, and honestly, Flick didn't really deserve it. They all kind of call Flick a jerk. I mean, yes, he did do a very bad accident, but it was an accident, and I kind of feel bad for Flick. But aside from that, Hopper is a good villain, and I like all the other characters as well. You could say this is a ripoff of Ants. Well, I haven't seen Ants, and judging by the animation, yeah, no. And now we move on to Toy Story 2 is the weakest out of Pixar's of the Toy Story series. I think why that is, it's because of, well, Star Wars themed. Yeah, it's kind of a bit too Star Wars themed with Zurg being Buzz's father or the opening. But aside from that, I still think Toy Story 2 was a pretty good movie. Now, for number 14, we have yeah, I like Wall-E. People say that this is the weakest of the classic era of Pixar. Okay, no one says that. But still, I kind of like it. It has. Oh, I'm filming a video. No! Get out! Sorry about that. Well, it was a pretty good movie. Yes, its villain was kind of weak. Like, Otto was had no personality and was just kind of did it because of his programming. Aside from that, Wall-E and Eve were pretty good, and the animation was nice. And I think this movie should get a sequel. Now, for what people call the weakest of the Toy Story series. Yeah, I think this has some great animation. And Woody had kind of a nice the end of Woody's journey where he becomes a lost toy and becomes his own person. It's kind of a nice finale for the Toy Story. But then Toy Story 5 got announced and everyone and now this is no longer the finale. Great. But if I did have a problem with Toy Story 4, I wasn't a big fan of the bunny and chicken. Yeah. And number 12, we have... Yeah, I like... Yeah, inside... I'd out was a nice movie. And yes, Joey was a bit jerk. Anger, fear, and disgust were kind of jerkish, but Joey was kind of a nice character, and Bing Bong was nice. This movie was so sad. Like, the scene where Bing Bong faded from existence, I don't really say he died. He kind of more just no longer existed, like if Thanos got snapped. Oh, yeah, and Sanders was a pretty nice character, too. I kind of thought she was just going to be sad throughout the movie, and I still liked it. Now, just missing it on the top 10 spot is... Yeah, Monster... Yeah, Monsters University was a great movie. Yes, Sully was a bit unlikable, but still, I think it's a nice origin story for Sully and Mike. And all the other characters were nice, too. I mean, I kind of wish we got to see a Randall Descent into Darkness, and it was pretty fun. And it was pretty funny, and I kind of really liked it. Though I kind of thought Sully was a bit unlikable. It's kind of interesting to see how he was a jerk at first, but then became a good guy. Now we go on to the amazing, starting with... Ratatouille. Yeah, I thought I just meant that. There wasn't. Yeah, Ratatouille is a pretty cool movie. I like how the villain was pretty nice, and honestly, it was kind of the only sane person. And Remy and Linguini's interactions were nice, and it was kind of nice to see him and Linguini and the other person right there, I forgot her name, become a couple. Though they kind of forgot about the other characters at the end, but still, I thought Ratatouille was a great movie. Next up, we have... Yeah. Finding Nemo is one of the greatest movies. I like Dory and Marlin were some of the good Pixar duos. And the Tank Gang were pretty nice. And Marlin's character arc from being an overprotective father to more of a let your son do what he wants. Okay, maybe not everything he wants, but still, it was kind of nice to see this movie. Its animation was good, despite it being a while ago, and most animations didn't look like. And I thought Finding Nemo was a good movie. Now we move on to...
Is there nothing he cannot do? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Up had one of the saddest opening scenes, but it's more than that. Charles Muntz was a nice villain, though it's kind of weird how he's not dead at this point. But I think all the other characters were nice, and like how Carl went from being a grumpy person to becoming friends with with Russell. It was a pretty nice movie. Now we move on to what most people say is the weakest of Pixar's classic. Yeah, I thought Cars was good. I grew up with this movie a little while, and while its second movie wasn't really great, I still liked it. Like, the character arc of Lightning McQueen was good. Doc Hudson has probably one of the saddest backstories. And Mater was a nice character, too. Yes, I said that. Cars is a nice movie you should check out. I mostly look at minutes from the beginning and ending where McQueen helps out the Dinoco car. Who's that? I think, oh yeah, the King. Now for a movie you kind of thought was gonna be number one.
You got a friend.
Yeah, this is a number one. I think Woody was kind of a bit jerkish, and the animation on Sid hasn't aged well. But I think all the other characters are nice. I think Mr. Potato Head was a nice character. He's kind of actually the antagonist. He kind of went from being a jerk to Woody to realizing what he did was wrong and helped out. Kinda. Still, this isn't number one though. What? Now we move on to the perfect movies. Okay, the fifth spot isn't really perfect, but I really like it. Yeah, Turning Red isn't. Red was a nice movie. Oh wait, yes, Ming was. Wait, why do I have to say Japanese? Sorry about that. Red was a nice movie. I think how it honestly was really nice to see, and I remember it being my favorite movie in 2022, and I still stand by that. It from the characters to May's character arc and the animation, I really like Turning Red. It's kind of it's really underrated. Now, okay, but Ming was kind of annoying. Now we move on to a movie you probably did not expect to be this high, like. Yeah, Cars 3 is this high. I really like this because it's the end of McQueen's journey from is passing down the torch to the younger racer. And there's not really anything I didn't like about this movie. Oh mate, Jackson's drum is good compared to Hicks from or Francesco Bernoulli, but he was still pretty good. Now we move on to the top three. Now, if Toy Story wasn't number one, well, the other so-called best Pixar movie should be number one, right? Yeah, I thought The Incredibles wasn't Pixar's best movie. It's still their third best movie. Like, the animation was pretty good. And Sinestron's backstory and was pretty nice. And I like how Bob had a nice character arc. I mean, yes, he became a jerk in the sequel. And I like how the action in this movie. It was pretty good. And it has one of the best animations. And it was kind of dark compared to some of other Pixar's movies. Now, okay. Surely. Okay. This next one, the other Pixar movie you talked about a lot, will be number one, right? No. Yeah, Monsters Inc. isn't number one. It's kind of shocking since I'm like a monster guy that interested in things like Godzilla and Gamera. And Monsters Inc. was a pretty good movie. I did think about putting it number one, mainly because of the scene with Boo and Ollie saying goodbye to each other. And Mike Wazowski was a pretty nice character. But I think you all know what number one is. There's
Yes,
yes, Toy Story 3 was obviously the best movie. Not just solely because of the ending. Okay, maybe a little, but this was honestly Pixar's best movie. Like, it was nice to see a Prison Break movie and how all the characters haven't been played with in years. And Andy's goodbye was emotional. But I think the best scene was the incinerator singing. The incinerator is Pixar's not just Pixar's dark moment, but also Disney's darkest moment. We see our characters almost die. Granted, of course, they weren't going to kill them because, well, the marketability. It was an epic scene where we were about to see the death of characters, the end of Buzz, Woody, and Jessie, and they accept it. I mean, yes, they do live, but this has to be one of the most cool, the most darkest and best Pixar scene. And that's why Toy Story 3 is Pixar's best movie. But I've talked about this movie for too long. And I've been here for a little while. So yeah, I'm gonna... And that's how I would rank every Pixar movie. Let me know what you're thinking about this in the comments, if there's gonna be any.